Ooh, let me get situated here. It's Valentine's Day. So, happy Valentine's Day. See this grill, this ain't broke. It's a handy cane holder. No, actually, it it's broke. Couldn't tell you how it happened. This is one I bought last week, along with my brother bought another one at that same auction. Anyway, I haven't had much time to mess with this. I tried to start it the night I picked it up. I managed to get two backfires out of it. So it's kind of unknown, like buying a pig in a poke, you know. But I'll get back to that here in a minute. Well, it's like I say, it's Valentine's Day and it's afternoon now, so it's kind of, I don't know about calling it morning coffee, but I still made this coffee this morning before my wife and I left the house to go eat breakfast in town for her Valentine's uh, eat out event. There you go. I took her out for breakfast. I think she likes to. We got a restaurant there in town. It's called Moe's Random Breakfast Food, and then everything there is pretty darn good. In fact, I think that tenderloin they have for uh, noon, for lunch, that probably should be on that in the contention for that Iowa's greatest tenderloin because yeah, it's the meat's thick. It's not just all a lot of those tenderloin, the meat they've pounded it out so thin. It's huge, but the meat's so thin. I enjoy the thicker meat, and it's darn good. I like to get that. But anyway, hopefully that made my wife happy, taking her out for breakfast, and then, well, she had to buy. They had cake pops in the shape of hearts, and she had to buy some of those for the grandkids, and then they had four chocolate dipped strawberries in a little cute little Valentine's box, and so she bought those for our son and daughter-in-law, and anyway, she gave them both one of those, and then we both ate one. Really good. Good. Yeah, makes you want more, but nah, that's probably all I need. But anyway, yeah, but so I've got some pretty good response on that last video of morning coffee. I haven't got back to replying to everybody, but I'm gonna work on it. I've only got two speeds, slow and stop, so you know, and slow's pretty darn slow anymore. Yeah, but I'm still doing stuff. I'm not just sitting looking at that spot on the wall. I just can't do that. Once again, I'm using my wife's rose mulling cup. Anyhow, and I bought this, and I thought I was given a pretty down the line price for it. I hadn't seen one sell quite this cheap in a long time, but like I said, I totally knew nothing about it, even though I did know the previous owner, but he's of course dead. It was his estate sale, and he was a relative on my mom's side of the family, so I've known him like forever. So yeah. So anyway, uh, I figured since it was his, it's probably had pretty good care. So it was worth taking a chance on. And my wife asked me, well, she says, why do you need another pickup? And, well, I told her that, you can never own too many pickups, Yeah, the same thing the lady told me at the bank about owning tractors was you can never own too many tractors. And I've got 14 tractors, but, I'm probably gonna. There's some I'm gonna work on and sell, and some I'm gonna work on and keep. It's just I'm not near as fast at working on stuff as I used to be. I kind of imagined when I retired I'd still be physically fit and everything, and able to just hit it hard, but I'm not hitting it that hard anymore. If I get just a few things done during any given day, I'm happy because I gotta take breaks, and I even take naps anymore. That when I was younger, that was totally foreign to me. I had way too much to do to waste time taking a nap. So I went to work for another farmer there when I was in my late teens, early 20s, and anyhow, he'd we'd eat lunch, then he'd go upstairs, and he would lay down. He'd tell me when he went upstairs, well, wake me up in an hour, and I'd go out and do whatever needed to be done, and come in the house and go wake him up then. And then see, I just never quite understood that, but I suppose he was in his 50s. And like I said, I was probably, 19, 20. Anyway, so I had a lot more go than he did. And he was pretty close to my dad's age. In fact, they were good friends. And but Dad, he wasn't into that nap stuff either. So, he was too. He wanted to get stuff done. So anyway, that's that. But of course, they're both dead now. I mean, the funny thing is that Dad died the 21st of December of 1987, and then Marvin, which was the guy that I worked for, it was just not too many years later. He died on exactly the same day, and both of them were buried on Christmas Eve day, which that was kind of odd, to me. But you know, I don't know. It's life, I guess. Dad's been out there in the cemetery a long time now. But anyhow, Mom spent was married to him 35 years, and then she spent like 35 years without him as a widow. So they're out there together now. But anyhow, back to this pickup here. I'm gonna get up here in a little bit, and I'd like to hear it run. I've got several other things I need to work on too. I mean, I got a lot of stuff to do. At least I'm not bored. I keep looking for more stuff. That's kind of, I don't know. Every once in a while I get the attitude that, well, I'm gonna finish some of these projects before I get any more, and I do, and then of course then my old what is that? Acquisition mode, not accusation, but acquisition mode kicks in, and I'm looking, and I go, so that's going pretty. That's pretty reasonable. Yeah, I'll just get that. I can work on that later. Uh-huh. So yeah, but of course that super crew I'm working on, not working on, but driving the Ford half F-150 4-door Super Crew, they call it. But it's a 2-wheel drive, and of course, in the dead of winter in Iowa, sometimes that's kind of a detriment, even though this winter hasn't been too bad. And today, as you see, I'm down to my short sleeve shirt. Anytime you can do that on the 14th of February in Iowa, that's a good day. There's not a whole lot of breeze, and no, last I looked, it was like 50 degrees or something. I think it's a little warmer now, but it's warm enough I can be comfortable like this. But yeah. Anyhow, I plan on seeing if this runs, and hopefully the transmission works in. But I don't know. I got a feeling that the timing might have jumped because this has got close to 200,000 on it, and that backfiring, when I tried to start it, that just made me wonder. So I could be putting a timing chain in it, but the one that my brother bought was a 2002, 2002, I think. The 2-wheel drive, and it's got that Vortec engine in it, that the one that everybody wants to put in their hot rod. Only it's a 4.8 version, so it's not the bigger version. But man, I put a battery in it when me and my brother's son-in-law went to pick it up, because my brother's out driving a semi. He couldn't pick it up. But I put a battery in it, and that thing just fired right up. And sounded good, you know. And it just purred, that engine did. And then my brother's son-in-law got in it, and he put it in reverse, and it tried to go forward, and neutral, it tried to go forward, and drive, it tried to go forward. So any gear that you put that in, it'll go forward. We took it and unloaded it over at my brother's farm, after my brother got home from being on the road. And my brother was out driving it around the pasture, just going merrily around. Of course, he said it didn't ever shift out of first, and of course it was going forward in any gear. So he talked to some transmission guy that rebuilds them, and he says that he thinks the clutches have all locked together. He said they do that, and so that needs to be torn apart. And anyway, I don't know. He was debating on what to do. He'd bought it for his wife to be their wood truck, and she wants to pick up like sticks in their yard and then fill up the back and drive it to wherever to dump it off. And anyway, he bought it for his wife to drive, and well, he found a used transmission. The guy will take it out for $500. He wanted for that transmission, and it worked. You can drive the pickup and see before you take it out, and then he found a rebuilt transmission. I think that was about 2,500 for that rebuilt transmission for that pickup. And anyhow, but that thing has one heck of a warranty. It's a 3-year, 1,000,000 mile warranty. 1,000,000 miles on that transmission. And they go through them, and they rebuild them with all the heavy duty stuff, and then so it's better than a lot of them that come out of the factory door than with that heavy duty stuff. And then they test each one of them before it goes out the door. That's how they can offer that warranty, because yeah, you can be pretty assured that when you put that in, it's gonna last for, yeah, 3 years at least, before you have to deal with it. And if it don't, there's that warranty. So there's that. Depends on if you're going to drive it a lot or not. And this just isn't going to get driven much. But anyhow, and he's debating, well, the used transmission, if you put it in and it works 2 weeks and goes out, you're on your own, buddy. So you're taking a chance there. Could work for years, could go out, never know. No guarantee on that. And anyway, uh, I I don't know. Let's see. It's hard to. He was asking me what he should do, and then he was thinking I bought an '08 F-150 that was rolled because I hit a deer with my '07 F-150 four-wheel drive, and somebody rolled this '08, and the front ends are the same. It's the same color, so I won't have to paint it. And, I was thinking, yeah, if I could find one the same color, that's a bonus. Yeah, but the front end's perfect on it. So I was going to get my '07 back on the road here. And that engine in that 5.4, you fire that up, doesn't make a sound. It sounds awesome. Okay. But anyway, he's got a '06 he bought. And he bought it because, it had like 99,000 miles on it. And the body was really good. Hardly any rust, on that body. Extended cab. It, it, he's calling that one the money pit now because he got it home. Of course, it didn't run, but this body shop was selling out and over, I don't know, I think it was a little over 100 miles away. So we went over and got it. And it didn't run, of course, and he took the starter off because the starter wouldn't work. Well, the starter was full of rust. So how does that happen? I don't know. So we put a rebuilt starter on it, and he's got it running. The air conditioning didn't work. He put an air conditioning compressor on it, and then he was driving it out in the field. He put the four-wheel drive in low, and now it's stuck in low. It won't come out, so need to pay attention to that little motor or whatever that swaps it from two to four-wheel drive. You got the little button on the dash. But anyway, so there's that, and his engine has a tick in it, and that's just driving him up a wall. But he does not like that tick, so he's been going to tear that down and figure out how to fix that. But he was just thinking the other night when he was thinking about that transmission that, and they haven't been driving this pickup because of that tick. Anyway, uh, he says, well, I can just buy your engine out of that '08, putting that '06 of mine. And my wife would rather drive that anyway because the pickup looks good, you know. So I don't know what he's going to decide. I suppose I'll sell him the engine if he wants, because I don't know. I suppose I don't really need it. Mine '07 has a little tick that I guess has been in it since it had 60,000 miles on it. I bought it used off of the original owner, and anyway, it had that tick in it, and he told me, yeah, it's done that ever since 60,000. So yeah, but I don't know. It didn't bother me, but my brother gets a little more picky than me. As long as it's running, I didn't care about the tick. I just kind of tuned that out. But anyway, but see, I'm still drinking this morning coffee. This is a pumpkin pie spice coffee. So they clearance that stuff out after Thanksgiving, and I always try to buy some because you know tastes just as good in July. So it keeps right. Yeah, was it last night? I just bought some frosted graham or frosted ginger cookie coffee on clearance there. So that's from leftover from Christmas. So if they would have clearanced it out cheap like they generally do, see, if it was down to like $1 for a box of 12, I'd have bought all of it. I've done that before. But anyway, they got it down to 350, and I thought, well, I'm not gonna buy it all at that price. So yeah, so I don't know. That's okay. I'll drink it, whatever. I've got plenty of coffee. I always have a good supply, and don't want to run out of my coffee. You know. Yeah. But this one's got the 5.7, so it's a 350, and like I say, I'll get up there and I'll get to tinkering with it here pretty soon. You know, I got to get a lot of stuff done while it's nice out. It could still get colder than yet. It's only February. It's the 14th. It's like this is the halfway day, isn't it, for February, basically? So anyway, uh, halfway through February, my brother keeps telling me he thinks it's spring because he's been seeing a lot of geese here past several weeks flying north, and I've seen some too. But he's always driving out across Nebraska and Wyoming, and so he gets to see more of the country. Big migratory area, and I know there were, just before I started this video, there were a bunch of them blackbirds in that tree over there that I think those are migrating too. So, he said on Groundhog Day, he says, they picked the wrong animal for that. He says, that and groundhog don't know nothing about the weather and don't care about it. But those birds, they always seem to know a lot more, you know, like the geese and the migratory birds. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna have to get moving here pretty soon. But yeah, yeah, I suppose I always start talking and then I get to talking too long, and then it takes forever to upload that. But I sure appreciate the response on the last video. That was looking pretty decent. But I got batteries I need to hook up to chargers, and speaking of that, I bought one of them booster packs. It's got not an air conditioner, but an air compressor on it too, and it's like 14,000 watts or something. It says on it. But or 16, I think it's 16. But the thing was at Walmart, it was on clearance for some reason, and it was $25 off, which made it like $75. And I've been wanting one anyway, because there's a lot of times I could use that. So I've got it charged up now. I did that right away after I got home last night. So I'll probably be using it on this. Gotta get this running. I should go over and work on my Impala while it's still nice. I need to finish my Suburban. You know, I started that several months ago, but it got so dang cold out that, and I'm working outside. Don't have a nice heated shop, and my garage door's broke, so I need to fix it. Dang storm, you know, and need to get around and fix that. But man, I got a lot of stuff I need to do besides talk to everybody, but I enjoy talking, so. But I bought that booster. I'll be using it on this, and I'll see if I can get it to go. If not, I kind of half suspect I'm going to be putting a timing chain in this one, but that's really not that big a thing. Done it before, you know. It's not that. It's not rocket science. Been doing this kind of thing for years and years and years. I started turning wrenches not long after I could walk, because I grew up on the farm here, and always had farm machinery and stuff to work on, and anything that wasn't you know any good anymore. When I was a kid, I used to tear it apart just to see what it was made out of. So yeah, anyhow, always enjoyed that kind of stuff. But yeah, well, like I say, I had better get moving. Uh, yeah, I don't move like I used to. That springing up thing doesn't work anymore. It's it's I didn't know about this part of getting older. Oh, have a good one.